Councilor McClure.
Thank you, Mayor. I had a little bit more questions too. I appreciate that we're trying to work through 7 people's different priorities here, and that's a hard battle to fight. But I'm curious too, as in when we have our capital outlay, we kind of tell a little bit of a story, at least in the packet that we received. But these legislative priorities doesn't have a why attached to some of these things that would set those parameters to say, this is how far we would go, this is what our needs are for the city. So for example, sustainability, are we looking to do more water conservation here? Santa Fe might not be looking at it in the same way we might. So I'm just curious why we don't have more detail in this list right now. And I guess things like affordable housing, that is such a buzzword that I wish there were a little bit more. What is stifling us from building quickly? I've heard too staff say, there's some regulations. Be very specific to give legislators guidance. And I feel like that's where we're kind of losing sort of focus. And I understand that there's a lot of stuff happening and there's gonna be a lot of work that we're doing and that we're going to support Chief Story, but what does that look like to tell people a little bit more where we're going?
Mayor and Councilor McClure, part of the struggle we have with that, and I'll use the affordable housing and as an example, the Municipal League hosted a summit within the past, and I'm looking to the mayor, it was about 3 weeks ago, with developers to discuss issues as it relates to zoning, local zoning, and challenges in building of affordable housing and housing in general. So we know there's movement on the issue. We don't know yet what that's going to be. So it's hard to commit to what that, unless it's a general policy statement like efforts to improve affordable housing or improve zoning and regulations to help increase housing access. It's hard to categorize some of those issues until you know what we're actually discussing. Public safety, we have a better sense because we know what the conversation has been about. With things specifically like the inspection of public records, affordable housing, sustainability, you get a list of the Coalition for Sustainable Communities gives a laundry list of what they're going to be looking at, but we don't know what the specifics are of those until we see them. That's why that's difficult to go too specific, and I'm not sure hope that answers your question.